The Sony Awards, the World Photography Awards, they came out with their national regional award winners and short lists. They haven't announced like the full on, but I just wanted to look at these photos. And when these photos come up, you got to be able to say, like, where is the subject? What is the subject? And you're going to see that every one of these photos has something. But I love to do this exercise when I'm looking at stuff to see, like, what is it that made this photo win? The subject is the people folding up or balancing or doing whatever they're doing. That's the whole thing. Do you see? You don't need a backstory here.
And you know why
a dissertation.
I'll tell you what makes them stand out. They're, if you think light and dark.
Color.
The background is very light. The highest area of contrast is where the people are against that light background. Your eye goes to that first before you go to that really cool vehicle with all that hay on it. So
going to them, and then you're pursing over to there. Like it's traveling over to that weird vehicle where they're stacking hay or something.
Yes, right. If you think of this is why dodging and burning, or thinking about light and dark areas, and where your eye goes first, it's going to tell the story, right? So this artist did an excellent job of the light and dark areas in the image.
Right.
That's what makes it.
That's what makes it. And
that's interesting subject.
And that's where it is. I don't even need to know the story here. You don't need to have an explanation or tell me what f-stop you shot it at.
Right.
All right, what's this photo?
Oh, no, that's interesting.
It's all about the woman flying up there, right? It's all about, like, that's what it's about.
That's what you see first.
She's in the sky, and it's simple up there.
Exactly.
There's nothing distracting. There's no of those palm trees hitting her, anything, just floating out there.
Yeah, and she's at the rule of thirds, too. Like, where she is, composition is good. The photo's busier at the bottom, but she stands out because it's a very simple background.
Well, yeah, and that's what I
interesting.
Usually, again, take the simplicity of her being in her position.
Yeah.
The bottom of the photo, if she wasn't in it, would be nothing. It would be messy.
It would be just a regular snapshot. You notice even the sky doesn't have a lot of clouds, so even the sky is like really, really simple. Simple texture, right?
The light on the face.
Her face is lit up. So you see her face.
It's great, but it's immediately I knew the subject's her flying through the sky. The other stuff just supporting characters to the photo.
Yeah, they just help tell a story. Oh, this is interesting.
Right?
Yeah, the bird is the subject, and then the plant is just a supporting character. But it helps balance it. If you think of the lines of like the wings, the direction of the wings, and then the lines of those leaves go in the opposite way. It's interesting position
because of the wings and how they curve with the other branches, and then because they have the white background, everything stands out. It's very simple.
It's a very simple message.
All right, this is an interesting one.
Yeah.
What's the subject here?
Yeah, so that's a good question because it's a landscape, and it's a busy landscape, right? But what stands out to me is that river in the middle, and then the mountain in the back.
Yeah.
It's just a busy texture, but really they're dark, right? So the things that pop is that mountain in the back because it's very bright, and then that river, it's very light value, so it's very bright. So that stands out to me.
Yeah, and this is what I was talking about with landscapes. Landscapes are actually very hard.
Yes, and I wonder if this is Iceland. I'm not sure, but places like this can be very challenging because it's a very rugged landscape with a busy texture.
Yep.
So you have to position yourself where it's not too busy, or in editing you darken some of the busy area. Anyway, the artist did a nice job of making the mountain and the water stand out really nice by brightening them.
To me, it was the mountain at the end, that the stream is leading right to the mountain.
Yes, it's like a leading line. The canyon
is leading right to the mountain. So everything is pulling me into a background mountain, which I thought was very interesting in that shot, that this is one where the subject is in almost, to me, in the back.
Yeah.
But it works. Yeah. And it only works because of the color combination, the leading line, the leading stream, then also the contrast between the blue and the green, that works to kind of lead me into that mountain.
And it's like a warm and cool. The sky is like a cool blue, and the land is like a yellowish green.
Yeah.
Kind of has a lot of nice contrast.
And
oh, wow.
It's it's the volcano, right?
Yeah.
And immediately it's about this volcano with lava coming down it. And then you're seeing the reflection of the lava in the water. I mean, it's just, that's what it is immediately.
The lava is the brightest thing in the image. Your eye goes to it first. Everything else in the photo, you could tell it's nighttime. Everything else is very dark.
Yep. But immediately we knew.
But the message is the lava.
Yep.
Right?
This is where people and animals are the same.
Yes.
It's kind of a little cheating because immediately you have a subject. But then the hard thing with people or with animals is because we see a lot of them, it has to be special. When you're capturing or portraits of people or people or animals, the same thing, it's got to be special.
And say something. And this is where pose is really important. Like if you're doing animals and the animal is moving and you're taking a series of photos very fast in a row going like really fast, you pick the right one with the right actual stop of time where it looks really good, right? Yep. So there is an art or an eye for that.
And then there we go.
Now this is interesting.
But what is it? It's immediately the rhino.
Exactly. And this is where, look, now this kind of a location, right? There could be a lot of busy textures. And this artist chose a nice spot. Like even though there's trees behind the rhino, that fog is making them diffuse. So it's not a very busy texture, even though it could be, right? Yep. And even like those plants in the very front it's a more high frequency texture right there, but there's not too many of them. So it works. And, the rhinos, the darkest thing in the image and the white sky just helps it stand out. So your eye goes there first.
And boom. I mean,
that's interesting.
So interesting, right? But that's where we clearly define the subject. It's the boat,
yes.
The people underneath the water. It's that plane, and everybody's sitting in that plane. This is one where I just want to know I want to know a little bit more about this story.
It's a mysterious,
I like the story on this one.
It keeps you interested because you're trying to figure out the story. And because there's a lot of people in there, you're wondering what's happening, right?
They did a good job about keeping the people in different positions where they weren't running into each other as that much. Like I noticed even down here, like they're not running into each other that much. They have some separation. Here's a little tight, but again, it goes to like, I want to know a little bit more about this.
And if you think, I don't know if it's a composite or if this was captured in one photograph, but if you think of the placement of all the people underwater, it's very balanced, right? In your eye, it's very unified composition, actually.
A lot of stuff going good for this photo.
Yes.
And this is actually one of my favorites so far.
But it's very interesting.
It's very interesting, but I think what it is, again, clearly defined subject. We know what it is immediately.
Exactly. Oh, that's interesting. That person's really excited about that ping pong.
Right? Looks like he's so enthralled with the game.
That's interesting.
But we know what the subject is.
Yeah.
We know here it's the person. They're trying to use a frame.
Okay,
it's the balloons.
Because selective color, right?
It's the people.
Yeah. Oh,
it's the water. It's that one lone structure in the water.
Yeah. Oh,
the person in the water. It's actually I think the curve of the mountain there, right? The
you see the two people?
And then you got the two people over there. It's that mountain.
Yeah, the shape of it.
It's that one guy kind of flopping over. That's the subject. It's the building and the moon.
Yeah.
It's the hair.
It's
all about the tree. All about the flowers. All about the people. That's what I'm talking about here is, guys, if we want to take our photos kind of to that next level, we've got to make sure we have that awesome subject. And like Joe McNally will say, if you're taking photos and you're like, well, yeah, but my subjects aren't looking amazing, or you want to have more interesting photos, you need to put yourself in front of more interesting things.
Exactly.
Right.